Now Tua on the bootleg here. He's got Smith here. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Tua going to give this to Wright.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
They'll go again here with Wright.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Right. Looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
James Daniels, the guard, called for the penalty there.
Still 2nd down.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Here's Tua. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Madison.
Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room.
Sanders throwing to start the drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Looking to throw. Sanders. Throwing left side, it's complete.
26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
That connection seemed to work out okay on the first play of the drive. Why not go right back to it? And once again, this defense is left without an answer as they surrender back-to-back first downs.
Back to throw now on first down. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
The rookie from Colorado on target with that throw. They've got a first down.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Browns have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
On the return, it's Washington.
Washington now to return it.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 3. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, they turn to Ford. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here's 2nd and 3.
This is Ford. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
They run with Ford. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On the ground, it's Ford, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Back to throw. Sanders.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Hopkins' kick is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. They complete it to Hill.
And Hill is going to have a Dolphins 1st down as he gets this up past the 40.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Complete to right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Browns set to take over.
And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, They need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Sanders now throwing to start the drive. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's brought down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Ford, and he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This is the tight end, Njoku. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a give, right side. Ford. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, Maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Tua sets up to pass it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill.
Picked off by Martin Emerson.
And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Browns have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Tua. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Tua. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
Up the middle they go. It's Ford.
Down to the 42, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. Sanders. That is caught. And he is going to have a Browns first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Ford. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
This is 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Ford, able to fight through one tackle. And down inside the 15 he goes.
The 71 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.